Awesome. Is there something that you've been, hey man, I'm working on this with you? Have you joined the media fast? And yeah or no? Some.
I'll skim.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's never affected me to the same degree that it has her. Okay. I can just shut it off.
Yeah.
She generally refers to me as Spock because I'm
not
very emotional about
Live
things.
long and prosper.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys know who Dr. Spock is.
We do. We're big nerds. We're really big nerds.
Young. Well, that's crazy. That's funny. For those of you, it's all about this right here. Anyway, live long and prosper. You need to go look it up if you don't know. Anyway. Hey, welcome to the Next Step Podcast. This is episode number 26, which means we've been doing this for half a year, according to our podcast master, Brent Oakes, who's sitting behind the deck over there. Hey, Brent, tell everybody hello from a distance.
Hello, everybody from a distance.
Oh, good. That's good. You actually did a good job. So today, we're lucky to have with us Sean and Anais Mullen. And they're a couple that have been on our church for about a year now, year and a half? Something like that? Yeah. Fantastic. And we're just glad you joined us today. Thanks for accepting our invitation to come.
Thank you for inviting us.
That's our pleasure. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us, where's Sean from? Where's Anais from? And how'd y'all get to know each other? And you obviously love each other since you're married now, right? That's cool.
Yeah. See, I'm initially from South Florida, Palm Beach County.
Okay.
I moved up here in June of 2014.
Awesome.
And started working at the Hilton in February of 2015. And
okay, so tell them what you do, because you're a man.
I am a chef primarily.
Okay.
I've been in the hospitality industry for a little over 20 years now.
Wow. You start when you're 12 or what?
15.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only industry I've known.
Wow. What was your first job in the hospitality industry?
First job was at CC's Pizza.
Okay. All right. So you were a pizza chef before you were a master chef?
I wouldn't call myself master chef. And yes, pizza was probably the first thing that I learned to make for more than just family.
That's cool. Awesome. Anais, how about you?
Yeah, I'm Anais. Most people know me by Anna at the church. Okay. And I grew up in Texas. Went to trade school, high school and a trade school at the same time for culinary. And I came down to North Carolina to go to JWU or Johnson & Wales.
Yeah.
And in 2014, I also worked at the Hilton. I was the baker, and Sean was the sous chef at the time.
Okay.
So that's how we met.
Cool. Over food.
Over food. We bonded over music because we actually didn't really talk.
Okay.
We love music.
Okay. So your first inclination was music together. Okay.
I was walking past him and he was listening to Irish jigs, and I actually listened to Irish jigs, which no one else does. So yeah.
Interesting.
And then food.
So when she said, "Oh, Irish jigs, I like to listen to them," did you go like, "No, you don't like Irish jigs"?
She actually did not broach the subject.
Okay.
She just happened to be playing it in the bake shop a few days later.
Okay. So we
started
there
talking.
There you go. It's kind of like, I like that kind of music too. That's cool. Excellent. Have you ever been to Ireland?
No. Although it is on the list.
I bet, but so particularly since that's the kind of music you like. So you're baking stuff and you're making everything else, sous chef stuff, right? And so tell us about, how did you get there? How did you decide to make the hospitality industry your career, at least for that period of time?
Well, for me as a pastry chef, I grew up, everyone has like this like really complicated story, or really like their grandma and the big family, the Italian family. I had the Easy Bake Oven.
Okay.
That was it.
Remember one of those?
Yeah. I got one every year, and I loved how it always made someone smile. And there's so many desserts in the world. There's never a dessert you can't find for a person that they don't like. So I wanted to do pastry. And then COVID happened and it all changed. But no, I love desserts, cookies, cakes, the whole shebang. I'm making a wedding cake for this weekend. So
fantastic.
Yeah. I'm still, even though I'm not in hospitality anymore, I still
so you do some catering on the side. You make cakes.
I do. Well, if someone asks me to, I'll do some specialty stuff. Our son just turned 2 Tuesday, so I did a cake for him.
Nice.
Now it's for fun.
For me. What is your favorite cake that you like to eat? And then what's your favorite cake you like to make?
I love to, so based on the season, so we're in the fall, so tres leche.
Okay.
I don't know why, I guess because all the cinnamon and cloves, but I love tres leche at this time of year. Love cheesecake in the spring.
Okay.
as far as making anything that I have creative freedom over.
Cool.
Because my clients sometimes were very particular about their dream, and I love to help them accomplish it. But if I can do whatever I want to do, then I love it.
So what's one of your most creative cakes you ever made? What made it different?
I used to work at Aldersgate.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say it's a creativity thing, but out of all the years that I had worked and the competitions I did and stuff, the one thing I loved more than anything was doing anniversary cakes instead of wedding cakes, because I would do 50 years, 75 years.
Yeah.
Those were cakes of accomplishments. Those were really real accomplishments to celebrate.
Right.
So I really loved that. But other than that, we did these cake molds where you'd pour the caramel, like a caramel, and then they open up, and then they would be like chocolate and brownies in it. It was a big trend at the time. And actually, Sean helped me at the Hilton doing that.
Spheres.
And he was so patient. And no other culinary, is culinary against pastry?
Yeah.
No other culinary person was willing to help me. And I saw how patient he was. And I was like, okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
You like that.
Patience
So
is
Aldersgate is like a retirement community for Methodist people in Charlotte off Shamrock Drive.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
So my daughter lives near there. I shouldn't tell exactly where, but she does live somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
That's a cool
I used to
place.
be a
This is the
pastry
Charlotte
chef.
Museum of History too, right?
It is.
Right down the street.
Of Shamrock.
How cool is that? All right. So how about you? How did you get into? Did you just need a job and you got a job at CC's, or you like, oh man, I want to work with food, and then kept working in food?
No, I don't think I really had the passion for it that she did.
Okay.
I had a friend that was already working at CC's and said they needed some help.
Yeah.
And started there, and then followed him to another restaurant.
Okay.
And while I was at that restaurant, which is a sports bar in Florida, I ended up going to culinary school.
Which one?
The Art Institute in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And worked my way up from the expediter and worked every station in the back until I got transferred to a different location and ran that kitchen for a few years.
Wow. That's a big deal. How about you? Did you go to the Art Institute too, or a place like that?
Oh gosh, no, I would never. No, I went to Johnson and Will. We
you went to JWU.
I went to JWU. Yes, I went to.
I've never heard referred to that, by the way. That's cool.
JWU?
Yeah, JWU. I like it.
Those were internal. We know.
No,
I went to Johnson and Wales.
Okay.
So yes, I went. No offense, but
nice.
There's some rivalry, and
there is rivalry. We win.
In most aspects, JWU is better.
Okay. All right. See, there we go. That's good. He's surrendering right here before the camera. So, in terms of things that you like to make, what are some things? What is your favorite thing to eat, and then what's one of your favorite things to make? I know it's hard to pick one. Just pick one of them.
Honestly, if it's breakfast, corned beef hash.
Okay.
Any other meal, it's probably just a burger.
Okay.
But as far as making, I'll typically just make food for her.
Okay. Good. And
What's
his
her
favorite
eggs
thing?
Benedicts.
What is that?
She likes her eggs Benedicts.
Eggs Benedict. Okay.
Love it.
So I see a breakfast theme here coming through.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. I love breakfast too. To me, it's like, man, bacon and eggs. You do something with those things. You just got to be able to do stuff with that, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Start the day off right.
So you have a child?
Yes, we do.
Yes. And what's
His name is Aiden.
Aiden? Okay.
Yeah, he turned 2 Tuesday or
Right.
yesterday. Actually, that's what he turned 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you made him a birthday cake, right?
Yes.
And what did he like? What kind of cake did you make especially?
He
for
actually
him?
doesn't eat a lot of sweets.
Okay.
That's for like family reasons, like genetics. But also if we eat the desserts, I mean, we're not gonna stop. So
Yeah, I understand.
so he's not really into that. Although we did have cotton candy. We did Holy Angels. They have the cotton factory, so we ordered from them. Had cotton candy and a little spider on it, and he had about 5 bags of that. Ran around.
That.
Yeah, he did. Every time I saw him, I was like, "Is that another bag?"
And you went to bed like at midnight or 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, well,
That's not the wild.
we did the trunk or treat. We finished his birthday and we went straight to the church's trunk or treat.
Okay.
And so we ran him ragged and was like, hopefully he'll go down early, and he didn't. But
Well, good strategy. Good try.
I tried.
Yeah, A for effort.
We'll try next year.
Yeah, I love that. So now you're doing something a little different, and you're doing something a little different too in your career. Tell us what you're doing now.
Well, I stepped out of the kitchen for the first time and am using another aspect of my skills, and I'm doing the purchasing for the different outlets at the hotels because I'm working at the Marriott South Park.
Cool.
So getting all of their food needs and then any other items that you need. So trash bags and plastic cutlery and things of that nature.
All the stuff you'll need to eat something if they cater it for you.
Yep. And then I'm also in charge of the finance aspect of that as well.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a workload involved. But,
yeah. So you're in charge of purchasing stuff, debits and credits, and then seeing where the profit's made and all that kind of stuff, and making sure the chefs are paid and all that stuff.
I don't have to do the payroll, thankfully.
Okay, that's good.
But making sure that each of the different products are set to the correct budgets.
Right.
Food is food, paper and plastics, and cleaning supplies.
So what's going up more, paper and plastic or food?
Our larger budget is definitely food.
Okay.
But the cost of goods has increased just across the board.
Sure. For everybody. And part of that's just because people know they can, so they have to increase it, right? Because they got to buy more groceries and they got to buy more. Gas costs more and all that stuff. Right? And so you're doing something different. So you stepped away from being a pastry chef, and now you're doing commercial real estate. Okay.
Yeah, I moved completely from it. COVID was a really good, if you had to look at a positive side of COVID, I would say a good reset. And so I learned about real estate, and now I work in commercial real estate as a real property admin. So I'll deal with contracts, vendors, set up buildings. If we're selling, I'll go ahead and help facilitate that, work with any kind of trading that needs to be done. It's basically a catch-all position.
Right.
So do a little bit of everything.
That's cool. So tell me, if you don't mind, a little bit about your faith journey. So what was it like growing up, and where did you come from, and as far as that's concerned? Plus or minus or whatever.
I'll say for me, it was a minus.
Okay.
Faith is a very big part of my family.
Mm-hmm.
My father runs his own church, founder and pastor. My grandfather, founder and pastor.
Cool.
My other grandfather, deacon. My cousin's pastor. So it's very. I was a preacher's daughter.
Yeah.
Brought up.
I'm sorry, we're recovering together. I'm a preacher's kid too.
Yeah. Brought up. I would come downstairs and have to recite the verse that I memorized and what it meant before going to school.
Wow.
It was kind
of legalistic.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Very demanding in that way. I understand.
Yeah. It was once I left home, I was kind of done. And it was more because I definitely believe in God. I understood the good of God, but the good of God, I guess the person who represented in my head at the time as a young child, those who represented God did so much bad.
Understand.
And I said, for me, I was like, well, how can this be God? I said, God, this is who you favor. These are your children. I want nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. And so I walked away from God because of man, and I didn't separate them.
Right.
So I left God for a while.
Just some things that you saw in the church and that kind of stuff that went on. Yeah. Understandable. Because behind the scenes, we're all human beings, right? And then when people start stirring up in their spiritual lives, they get really restless, and they like it a certain way and they don't like other things a certain way, and it can cause spiritual leaders difficult times sometimes too. Absolutely. How about you, Sean?
Let's see. I was raised Lutheran.
Okay.
And going into hospitality,
were you always in Florida? Did you always live in Palm Beach County?
When I was very young, it was Broward County,
okay,
which is the neighboring.
Right.
But up until I moved, between the two.
Cool. I just wondered. Anyway, back to your faith journey. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Going into hospitality, most places are open 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, and weekends are always busy. So I just kind of dropped off from going to church, and I would still consider myself Christian at that point, but wasn't actively participating in maintaining a relationship with God.
Sure. And that's pretty understandable. And it's also a phase you kind of go through in life when you are in your 20s, late teens, early 20s. You kind of have heard this and you've recited the Bible verses and you know certain things, but you go to test out the world and say, what is it really like, right? But you've come back to faith as far as that's concerned. So tell us about that journey. Not that you ever completely left it, but you've refocused and kind of come back and recalibrated it. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I'm not going to speak for her, but Anais had actually requested that I adjust my schedule because she had been going to the point and was really enjoying it. So I started following and have since joined and become a member as well, I guess.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So I remember you when Aiden was little, about, was it 21, 22, first part of 22?
First part of 22.
Yeah. I remember coming, I remember at that time. And then shortly thereafter you came, and then you've come to some other things that have happened in terms of church life and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think Joe Sangle, you went to that workshop as well, and you've been involved in some groups and things like that. That's cool.
Yeah, so we're very active now.
And we're actually in the marriage group on Tuesdays
We're
with
Holly and Greg.
Holly and Greg?
Yeah.
Shoe? That's awesome. They're great people, aren't they?
They are.
They are.
So of those things, in terms of reconnecting, like what has group life meant to you as far as being in a group, since you've done that for, I guess, a semester and a half now? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's it been like for you to be part of a group, and how's it helped?
I wasn't able to join with the first semester, so this is my first time going through it.
Okay, good.
I would say for me, it's giving different perspectives.
Right.
Because you'll see the other couples that are in a relationship going through life, with you, your spouse, and God.
Right.
And facing different struggles and seeing how to react or not react to it, and how to adjust moving forward.
Right.
And
sometimes it's good to be in a room with other people who are making the same kind of adjustments, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, the marriage group really helped me realize that I did the marriage group in the beginning by myself, because like, even though, Sean's not here, I have something to work on. Mm-hmm. So let me try and work on that. And for me, it helped realize, there's also a voice in your head that's constantly putting you down. Mm-hmm. And, there's this and that. And I wasn't alone in a lot of it. Right? Sean was constantly working. It was just me and Aiden for a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And so I was very much alone. So marriage group helped with that. We were in a very big financial strait at the time. So when the church offered finance classes, I took that, and Sean would be able to come in a little bit. And that has put us on a whole journey where we are very much in a much better spot.
That's cool. So did you go to Financial Peace first, or did you go to Joe Sangle's?
We did Joe Sangle, and that is how we found Dave Ramsey to do the Financial Peace. So we now do that.
Okay.
And then we've taken, oh my goodness, the church gave us scholarships to the global leadership. We still put that in practice. It's been amazing.
Awesome.
The global leadership was amazing. We tried to be as part of everything we can. I do hand-to-hand volunteer, and that was a big part of teaching Aiden to have a strong foundation of giving.
Right.
Right? Because children automatically take, but starting very young on how to give. So the hand-to-hand has been amazing.
That's cool.
Terrell and Monica have been great on that. And gosh, we do so much.
That's cool. So Global Leadership Summit is the thing we do every summer. For the first Thursday and Friday in August. And have you done that 2 years in a row, or just last year?
We just did this
year. That's cool. That's awesome. So we're trying to constantly help people develop their leadership skills in whatever area they are. And the truth is, all of us have influence when we have a leader with somebody, even if it's just our child or one another. Mm-hmm. Right. And then you've been through the finance classes. You've been through I Was Broke, Now I'm Not with Joe Sangle. Mm-hmm. And so you guys made a pretty significant financial decision too back when that happened. Is it January of this year or last year?
Well, we started doing his thing. We started journaling it, and that was in February is when we made the decision. So I'm not sure when that class was, but I won't go too deep into it because I didn't get Sean's permission previously. But we had been renovating our home, which once we tore into it, we realized there was so much more to do.
Right.
We spent tens of thousands on this home, and we had nothing left.
Right.
And our contractor left us $1,000 in a demoed home. I was pregnant. It was a lot. It was bad.
Oh, wow.
And so when Joseph Single was like, hey, let's look at this. First thing you need to do is tithe. He's like, first thing you need to do in your budget is tithe. Well, we did our budget, and we were very much in debt. But it was just red all the way through, and I have a video of us turning it to it. And we said, all right, well, I said, there's nothing to tithe, but we're going to tithe. And I was like, and I remember distinctly saying, this is insane.
Yeah.
I was like, but I envisioned us as that old woman with her 2 little pennies. And I was like, this is all we have.
Yeah.
So here, take it.
Amen.
And October 25th, we are making more together than we ever have.
Wow. It's been a journey in less than a year.
in less than a year.
Right. And you paid off a lot of debt too, right?
Well, so far so good.
Still working on it.
We're still working on it. But I mean, just
we're in a much better place.
Oh my goodness. Like literally only God.
Wow. So that's got to be because you've not done that in your life on a regular basis. And all of a sudden you're like, you feel convicted that, hey, we need to do this thing. That's got to be like what was that moment like for you as in your marriage? How'd you feel about that, Sean?
Well, when she had come to me with that, because we had both known how deep in the red we were, and she had brought we need to tithe. It was I didn't fight it, but I didn't see the logic in it.
I understand. Okay, cool.
But we agreed on it and set our weekly auto pay, so it was just out of our hands entirely.
Wow.
And leap of faith.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that are out there right now that are going like, man, there's no way I can't possibly do that, and that doesn't make any sense. So what would you say to that person that is saying those kind of things to themselves? What has happened to you that would give you evidence that it works?
Oh my goodness. Well, the Lord does wonders with broken things, right? So if you feel like you're broken, like, this is the best time, I think. This is the best time when you're vulnerable, you're open, you're willing. But it has to be a willing thing, for one. And for those who don't think they can do it, that's on you. You don't need to have faith in yourself. You need to have faith in God.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to have faith in yourself. It's okay not to have faith in yourself, because you're trying to hold it up. God's stronger than that. Like, build your house on Him.
Right.
If your house is crumbling, maybe because it's not on Him.
Right.
Just take a faith. If you're like, I've done everything. Have you done this? Have you trusted God on it? If not, I challenge you to do so. And again, as Sean said, it made no logic. And I was like, we have nothing to give. But
and you literally said before you did this is insane. We're doing this.
Over and over again. I remember downloading the app, doing the manage, putting the amount. We calculated all our, income, and we did our 10%. And I was like, nothing's going to come out. It's going to and so one day we'll maybe share.
Did you see kind of immediate results? Did you kind of see other opportunities to make more money come in, or did you get another raise? Or
here's the funny thing, and I want to share this. I'm sorry, but because I'm just so excited about this. We had no money, y'all. We were thousands of dollars in debt every month.
I would be willing to bet more than half of the people that are listening to this have been there at one time or at this time.
And
right?
that's why I want people to understand this. The moment after we did that, because I think our next journal was in March or April. Sean got a client. Our friends moved to the Isle of Man, and she said, "Can you take our client?"
Wow.
I know. No. But these are some of the things that have happened since. His client is just one client. She pays so much, he was able to drop his other clients just to work for her.
Wow.
Sean got a job at the Marriott, which meant he's home now, and I don't have to be a single married mom. I got the job at a commercial property that our motto is to serve God in all ways. And I had Sundays off, and I was like, this is odd. And I found the point thinking it was a daycare because I saw the playground, and I started going to church. And then they
live in Bessemer City, right? That's not.
We live in Bessemer City.
Not an easy journey. That's 20 minutes at least, right?
It is.
Well, we work in South Park.
We work in South Park. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I got this new job that gave me time off, and I could work from home if Aiden was sick. And then we found a daycare that was really affordable. And so
things you kept falling into place.
It just kept falling into place.
Yeah.
Because that's where God put it. We're not good at puzzles. I'm not good at puzzles. He's actually good at puzzles. But God has, whatever puzzle it is, God, give it in God's hands. Just give him all the pieces.
That's cool.
And it's really relaxing to just be like, you can take it. When I get frustrated, I look up at the sky and I'm like, you can just take it.
Wow.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Instead of holding on to everything and trying to bear all that burden.
I hold on to things.
Yeah.
I have to okay. Well,
I think everybody deals with that to some degree.
Yeah. I like to know what the next steps are. I like to know all this. And that's what faith is about, right?
Sure.
You don't need to know it's okay. You need to know him.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Right.
So.
Wow. Powerful testimony. We always say, or pretty regularly, if you trust God with your first and your best, he'll take care of the rest. And you've found that to be true, is what I hear you saying. That's
Absolutely.
cool. That's cool. Do you still kind of shake your head sometimes when you're going like, we're doing this, I can't believe it? Or are you like, nah, this really does work?
A little of both,
Yeah,
I have
good.
to say.
Well, that's normal. That's awesome. Well, so the truth is, people like me, everybody knows, well, yeah, you kind of make your living that way, right? You want everybody to give you money. I tell you what, I really wish that I was somebody that won the lottery, because I would just quit and travel around and say, hey, y'all, I would love to share stories like Anais or Anna that you just shared about. Here's how God provides when you get your priorities in order. So that's so gratifying, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. So groups have helped. You thought we were a daycare. You found another daycare. Is it closer to your house, or is it closer?
I think Gastonia.
Is it? Okay. That's cool. We have a lot of folks from Bessemer City. It's a great place. It's a nice little downtown area. They're really doing a lot of things downtown to make it
my
cool.
God. We have our little grand openings, and we're so excited. We got a nail salon now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Fantastic. Is it like Arson Nail? Just one? Or you remember, what's her name? That did that thing, that stick on YouTube. Oh gosh, what's her name? I can't remember. Angela something, where she talks about go to Arson Nail, like just one. Oh, what's her name? Brent's behind the screen over there. Brent, you can shout out and say something loud. You remember this one? Oh gosh, she's one that, welcome to Lottaburger, boy. You can have it your way, but don't go crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, Bonquiqui. That's right. It's the same person that
Bonquiqui.
does it.
She had her
Bonquiqui.
nails.
So if you've never watched Bonquiqui, just go look. Bonquiqui. I think that's how you spell on YouTube. And you'll just go down and laugh for at least an hour. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, back to you guys. But Bessemer City is a great place to live. Actually, I know the city planner there, and she is passionate about that city and people that live there. So we're grateful that you brought some culture to us in our county. That's so cool.
Thank you.
That's so cool. So as you begin to take your next steps in your journey with Christ, what are some things that you've prioritized as goals for you? Obviously, you working on your marriage is one of those things, and anything else that pops in your mind about steps you're ready to take? This is a pretty big one. Thanks for being on camera.
Well, no, I think we're our finances, because, you had done a sermon where you were like, look, the man who had set that poor man out into a hotel, he had money, right? You're able to help people with funds. It's not a bad thing to have funds, to have money. You use that properly.
Right.
And so we feel like now that we understand how mistakes are made, we can learn how to fix them, and then we'll be prepared to help whatever may come onto our laps. So we're definitely working on that. Me personally, I'm working on just empathy. I'm a very closed off, like I will give, but don't touch me. I'm very hard. So opening my heart more, and it's hard because the world is not easy. I've gone on media sabbatical. I mean, I literally learn the news from you, whatever you may say in service. Like I'm just tired.
Wow.
I'm very tired. I think everyone is. So opening up your heart, and it's going to get a little bruised, but it's okay, because there are people out there who need loving hearts. So I'm working on that for myself.
How cool is that? How cool is that? So the idea of broken things and being empty and needing rest are things that are constant things in your life. So you've chosen to put priorities in order, not just finances, but also time and rest and putting media aside for a period of time. Are you still on your media fast?
I am.
Okay. What does that mean for you?
So no social media. So I don't post. Well, I've never been one to post anyway, but I don't look at comments, right?
Okay.
Because people's comments, they irritate me, because I don't look at articles. I feel like they're extremely biased. Everyone for me tells the same story, just in a different way. I don't watch the news. I was really big on listen to the radio on my way to work. Right. It's like an hour and a half drive. Now I just do praise and worship. So it helps cool down my road rage on 85. I spend a lot of my time looking at pictures, reading.
That's cool.
Doing work. I don't.
Have you found that made you feel more at peace?
Oh my goodness. It is insane. I would get angry, and I'd take it home over articles, over media, over fighting, over politics.
Right.
And I was like, this is insane. So I needed peace. And so, yes, I found that I have peace, but you are a part of the world. You're just a part of the world. So right. I do need to go back out there. And that means, I thought it meant hardening myself, but it just means being willing to love, right? If you can love a child because they're innocent, have that same expectation of an adult, which is, they may not be innocent, but don't have any expectations. Just take it as it is.
Yeah.
Stop trying to put an expectation, a podium there, because people fail. That's what we do.
Right.
And that should be okay. Just don't take it personally. And I took it personally.
So have you noticed the change in how she feels and how peaceful she is?
Yes.
Good. Awesome.
You're
Is there something that you've been, hey man, I'm working on this with you? Have you joined the media fast? And yeah or no? Some.
I'll skim.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's never affected me to the same degree that it has her.
Okay.
I can just shut it off.
Yeah.
She generally refers to me as Spock because I'm
Spock.
not very emotional about
Live
things.
long and prosper.
Yeah.
Peace and
I'm
long
surprised
life.
you guys know who Dr. Spock is.
We do. We're big nerds. We're really big
you're
nerds.
young. Well, that's crazy. That's funny. For those of you, it's all about this right here. Anyway, live long and prosper. You need to go look it up if you don't know. Anyway, that's cool. So, but you're somebody that's working on empathy, whereas you're kind of like, I got it. I'm okay. I'm not going to go down those wormholes of comments and things like that. But it sounds to me like you already had a bent toward empathy and you were hardening yourself because of all you saw and you just got tired of it and you wanted to punch the button and turn it off, right?
Yeah, I was crying all the time.
Right.
It's hard.
It is hard. It's hard. And I think what's interesting about the political divide these days is that both sides bear witness to part of the nature of God. The right is kind of like, you don't work, you don't eat. You need to make sure to take care of yourself and that kind of stuff and those kinds of things. And on the left side, it's kind of like, well, we need to love one another. We need to be inclusive of one another and that kind of stuff. But both of those aspects are aspects of God, but he has an imperfect balance and none of us does, but we think we do, right? Anyway, that's really powerful.
Very well said. Yeah.
Good deal. So tell us about Aiden. What's up with Aiden?
Woo!
What kind of guy is he? Is he all over the place? Is he kind of quiet and reserved like Dad? He's like a smooth criminal. He's a Vulcan too.
No, he definitely has her personality.
Okay, good.
He is wild.
Yeah,
but he is, I'd say, happy almost all the time.
really. Well, you both, every time I see you, you have smiles on your face. You guys seem to be happy individuals anyway.
That's because we come to a place of peace.
That's cool. That's awesome.
why.
Fantastic. So, since you've been in a group for a while, you've been in marriage group. First, you did this alone, and then you came together. Did you have the conviction about making changes, and you brought it home with you, or brought it home, and then you told Sean this, or was it like you both discovered the things you need to change together this semester, or is it some of both?
You had brought some stuff back in the previous one.
I did. I came to the first one for me. I really wanted him to be there, but I came for me, so I could say that I did my part, and that I would work on what I needed to work on, because we were in a bad financial state, and we were also in a bad point in our marriage.
Well, finances rob you of your peace in your relationship, don't they?
Well, and we also had a new baby. Aiden was not planned or expected.
Okay.
We didn't find out about him until I was going into my second trimester.
Okay.
No idea. So it was all a lot. It was just a lot.
Wow.
And the groups, like every time we had a problem, the groups were like, "Hey, by the way, we're doing this group." And we were like, "Okay." And so God was just putting breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs, I love
we were just
it.
putting breadcrumbs, and we were like, "Oh, okay. Well, the next group, okay, do the next group." But
Cool.
eventually, and I had my anger, and as I was going through group, I was like, "Hey, did you know this?" And hey, and then it got more to, "Did you know this?" Or we should practice this, and
Yeah.
so I would bring stuff home, and we got better.
That's cool. Well, the fact that you were receptive to those things too, is an indication of your character. A lot of times men are kind of like, "Hey, I'm not doing that." Or I guess the same thing could be held if women decided that their husbands came home and we need to do this, that you decided to do that together. I think that's cool. So it's kind of like an adventure for you.
Isn't that what life is?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you've spoken of Irish jigs and the Isle of Man. So do you guys have desire to one day go to places like that?
We're gonna celebrate our debt-free thing with a very big trip. Sean will be at a certain age mark.
Right.
Our timeline has us getting debt free around my 40th birthday.
Okay, good. Awesome.
So we'll be going to Ireland.
Fantastic. You've already got that planned. That's cool. I saw a thing about the Isle of Man on 60 Minutes this week, and I didn't know that it was like the place where they do this motorcycle race or whatever that is real fast and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I'd like to go there too. I've seen it before. I've actually flown over the Isle of Man.
Oh,
It's really pretty, but I've never been to Ireland except just to land in Dublin, take off, and go somewhere else. So that's really not the case. Scotland and England are very good. Let's talk about that. So, if you have to pick, would you go to Europe or Asia? Sounds like you've already made your pick.
Well, that's because Sean's family is from Ireland.
Okay, you look very Irish. I don't know what that means. You just look Irish.
His name is Sean Patrick Mullen. I mean,
okay, well that makes sense. Or Sean Patrick, right?
Sean Patrick Mullen.
I like it. It's okay.
if you had to pick one.
Only one. I'd honestly say Asia.
Okay.
I think I'd pick Asia.
Do you have a particular place in Asia where you'd like to go?
I would really love to go to Japan.
Okay, cool.
Cherry blossoms,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards. I'm a big. I'll just say it out loud. I'm a big anime fan.
Oh, okay.
So I watch anime. Yes.
Fantastic.
We do.
We thank
do,
you.
you too.
Thank you for not leaving me alone on that.
Right, there you go. So JIGS, Irish JIGS plus anime, right? How about you said? But you're both nerds. You like Dr. Spock too and Star
We
Trek?
do. Well, I grew up. I grew up
The
in
old
Andromeda.
ones are like the movie
Andromeda
ones.
is-
We've watched both,
Okay.
but a few years ago we were actually Spock and Uhura for Halloween.
Mhm.
Oh, really? Well, we need to see that picture. Maybe you can send that to us and we can put it on the podcast where you
Okay.
can show us so what it was
I can
really
send it.
like.
Do that.
Although he shaved off his beard to really
Yeah.
get into the role.
Oh, okay.
And that was she cried
Did you have
when I
the
came
big?
out.
Did you get that done too?
Didn't have the eyebrows,
Okay,
but I
okay.
did have a wig.
Okay. Good deal.
By the way,
It's awesome. What an interesting couple. So, is for you? Is it the same answer? Is it Asia or is it Europe? Would you rather, if you had a chance to go to Ireland right now or go to Japan, where would you go? You can be
Right now, I definitely go Ireland.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
I do have dreams of going to Asia, probably Japan as well, but
Okay.
Ireland, kind of see some of my heritage.
That's cool. So if you do like Dave Ramsey says, if you live like no one else, one day you'll be able to live like no one else. I'm just prophesying. No, I'm not a prophet. Not in that kind of way. That you're going to go to both. You're going to have a great
I
time. And
love
when you
it.
get back from both, just tell me what it was like, man. That's really cool.
We'll also let you know when we can do our debt-free scream.
Oh, yeah, that's
oh
good.
yes,
That's good. Yeah, you need to send you to Joe Sangle or to Dave Ramsey's headquarters and say, we're free. We just had somebody in our county, actually Matt Vanderbilt's son, what's his name? Anais Vanderbilt and his wife just went on the Dave Ramsey show, and they screamed out we're debt free and all that kind of stuff. And Matt got to go with him. Matt is pastor at Vision Church, so shout out to Matt Vanderbilt and the Vision Church folks out there, and congratulations, Emmaus, for you and your wife as you've gotten debt free. So y'all are next, or sometime next. Anyway, we've met Dave Ramsey back in 2009, right after after the Great Recession, after the last thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
God laid it on my heart about finances for people that we needed to do the whole idea of taking that church wide. And so we did what they call their Momentum campaign, where adults and students and children for a fall, we all did Dave Ramsey stuff together. We all learned about it. And it's kind of like a reverse capital campaign to let people get their money in order, and God will take care of everything else. So we did that, and I'm just grateful that that's been a regular part of who we are, what we try to do. All right, so we've got the Asia. How about mountains or beaches? Are you mountain people or beach people?
mountains.
Okay.
All
Oh, you
the
got.
way.
Oh, that was like 1, 2, 3. You did it at the same
Well,
time.
Yeah,
We actually got married twice.
Okay.
yeah.
We eloped
Okay.
in 2017.
In Florida?
And then
No.
Colorado.
Oh, that's Colorado. Okay, because y'all met here, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You met
Then
here,
We
right?
took a flight, didn't tell anyone, asked for an extra day off, and got married and came back. And instead of saying boyfriend, we were saying husband.
That is so cool. And then,
Then we returned to Colorado in 2021 and had a family and friends wedding.
fantastic. So where did you get married the first time in Colorado?
Keystone Resort.
Okay.
We took the ski lift up to the top, and it was just the two of us and a photographer.
Fantastic. And then you got remarried or whatever.
Yeah.
Where was
Yeah.
that one?
That one was at Wedgwood Mountain View Ranch,
Okay.
and I think just outside of Conifer, Colorado.
It was
Okay.
Pine, Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah, in Pine.
There's a theme there. So do you have a favorite place in the North Carolina mountains you like to go to?
I don't think we've explored a lot of the North Carolina mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, we love Gatlinburg.
Yeah?
In Tennessee. Well, yes.
The Smoky Mountains are nice.
We loved Asheville.
Yeah.
I'd like to go try Boone or Grandfather Mountain. There's a Scottish Highlands Games that
Yep.
we've been trying to get to.
Absolutely.
So we'll try and do that.
Maybe next year.
We have some friends that helped us to sponsor the meals and the food at the Global Leadership Summit. And his daughter, he works with Thrivent, Terry Halverson. Shout out to Terry Halverson out there. And his daughter actually won some of the Highland Games as a female participant. And I think she was 3 or 4 months pregnant too, while she's throwing these big,
the
cable
yes,
toss
and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
I love it.
I love
That's
it too.
awesome.
That's cool. So, did your family come from a Catholic background or a Protestant background in Ireland? You know?
I do actually.
Okay. Because they've made peace with one another pretty
To an
successfully
extent.
in recent years.
I know that my father's grandparents were Catholic, Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
Because they disowned his father for marrying Lutheran.
Oh, I see. Wow. And so you kind of grew up in the middle. So I think Lutheran is kind of like Catholic Protestant. You know, you still got some of the formalism and the robes and the incense and stuff
Very
like that.
formal.
Right.
Didn't have any of the incense, but when I had to, because the church that I was part of back in Florida, during some of the services, they'd have acolytes that you have too that would come in, light and snuff and
right,
and
not the kind of snuff you put in here.
And then during Christmas and Easter, you had I don't remember what the term was, but there was another person that was on the roster that would hold the crucifix to walk down the aisle. So have done that multiple times and had to wear the robes. And
so that's really interesting in that your faith background was much more Protestant, African American kind of church
Baptist,
background.
Southern Baptist.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of. I took my poor husband to my grandfather's church. There was a lot of screaming and Holy Spirit ness.
Yeah.
And he was just in shock. And
So
I was like,
okay, right.
yeah. And I was like, no,
shock.
we have 3 more sermons to do. What do you mean? We're not leaving yet. Like
this
is
a 4-hour service.
Yeah, this is a 4-hour service, and we got 3 more of these.
Wow.
We can't leave with the grandfather's,
Wow.
pastor's granddaughter. I can't go.
That's
So, it's
hilarious.
very different.
But the fact that you have melded together and you've brought your faith traditions with you and you've kind of created your own now, that's a very powerful indication, that you're an adult and you're maturing and you know what it is that is essential to you. And that's really cool. Formalism and then much more emotionalism, and that's kind of putting things in a box, but you kind of came from those backgrounds, but now you found a place where you both can feel like you belong. Okay, so steak or chicken?
Steak.
Okay.
Ribeye or filet mignon?
Oh, definitely ribeye.
Yeah, I'd say ribeye. Filet mignon is
But skirt is your go-to.
Oh, I do like a good skirt, but it depends on who makes it.
Okay. All right. So see, I'm not a foodie. What's the skirt? Is that like the fatty ribbon around the side of it?
It's like the cut of the beef. I mean, it's cheaper too. I'm a pastry chef. You explain it.
I honestly don't remember where it is found on the cow, but I think it is
Near the ribs, right? That'll be close to them.
Yeah, it would be near the ribs because it's a very thin steak, so you don't need to cook it for very long, and you can marinate it very quickly.
Cool. Excellent. I love good steak when it's good. I hate a lot of fat in it, though. The prime rib people, I get you like that, but it's just, no, that's not me anyway. So how about this, winter or summer?
Winter.
Summer.
Summer?
Summer.
Oh, I hate the heat.
Okay.
I left Florida to get away from it.
I hate the cold.
Okay, so that means adjusting your temperature thermostat in the house is always interesting,
The
right?
heater is not my side.
Okay. All right, so then spring or fall?
Fall.
Okay, well, good. You agree on that. That helps a lot.
Yeah, the
It's a
leaves
little
change.
cool sometimes, and a little warm, so you get a little bit of both.
It's really
those kind of
pretty.
things.
S'mores.
That's
Great.
good. Goosebumps or Alice in Wonderland?
Ooh, Alice in Wonderland.
I think I'd have to go Alice in Wonderland as well. I wasn't allowed to read Goosebumps growing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
All
was
right.
kind of banned from that too.
Kind of banned from that too. Now you can watch it, but you don't necessarily know if you want to. That's cool. Trees or desert?
Trees.
Okay. Lakes or seas?
Lakes.
Because?
Oh, oceans scare me. There's so much unchartedness
Yeah.
in there. Can't do it. I need No, can't do it.
Okay.
I grew up right next to the ocean.
Yeah.
Never really had an appeal to me.
Yeah.
And now having a young child, I'd rather not have to worry about undertows and riptides. And
yeah. Did you ever surf when you were? No. Okay. Yeah.
Didn't really care to go to the beach.
That's your thing. Why you want to do that, man? Cece's is right down the road. We gotta do something,
right next to the beach. Doesn't like sand. Doesn't like seafood. Doesn't like the ocean.
So years ago, I had some special ice cream in Palm Beach. I actually drove from Fort Lauderdale to Palm Beach to get it. You would know it. It's some special place where they have real fancy ice cream.
Is that what you took me?
Kilwins?
Yeah, it's Kelwin's.
Yeah.
That was it.
I thought it was special too.
Yeah, it was really good. Good stuff. I'm telling you what, man. Ice cream. How about that? Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
I make ice cream at home.
I'm lactose intolerant, so it hits me either way, but I like ice cream.
But I make a good lactose free. Well, you can't even tell because I like my dairy.
Okay.
So no,
And what's your favorite kind?
I have a 5-spice ice cream that our chef Andreas, does really good, and it's the only ice cream that I know that has like black pepper in it. But it's so good.
Nice.
It's unique.
It's really good,
and it's lactose free.
You can.
I can make it.
You make that way. So what do you do? So I've always wanted to know this. So if you're lactose intolerant, what do? Do you just cough when you eat dairy, or can you take something to help with it?
They have lactose pills that is about an 80% success rate.
Okay. So sometimes they work. Most of the time they work, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah. And I try to limit my intake so that when I need to take the pill, it will work. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I've cut it out entirely.
Okay.
Especially this time of year when eggnog's back.
Oh, yeah, that's back. That's right. The magic word, eggs. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We know you like your eggs Benedict. Man, just give me mine scrambled. Make sure they're done well, or they're fried real. I like that. I'm telling you, something about eggs that just primal. It's crazy. All right, so if you're from Florida, Buccaneers or Dolphins or Jaguars, you had 3 different choices there.
I went Dolphins only because I was closest to them.
Yeah,
but didn't really follow NFL.
Okay.
College.
The U.
FSU.
FSU. Okay.
My dad, my aunt, were both alumni.
Okay. Cool. So where are you from originally? I didn't ever ask that question on these.
Texas.
From you told me. Yeah, you did say that. So Cowboys or not Oilers. Texans, Cowboys. Is there another one? Am I leaving one out? I think that's it, right?
So Cowboys.
Okay. Were you close to Dallas? Is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up in Elgin, which no one knows. So I just say I grew up in Austin.
Okay.
But college football was very big in my family.
Yeah.
So Longhorns, Cowboys.
So
it's just kind of just bred into me.
Okay.
Anthony still works in school, right?
Anthony works for Prairie View A&M.
Okay. Anthony's
my uncle.
He works for Prairie View Bible College.
No, I don't know if A&M is Bible college. I wouldn't be surprised, but
A&M is in Prairie View.
Yes,
he works for A&M.
A&M.
Cool. Wow, a Texas girl meets a Florida guy, and they meet doing Irish jigs in a restaurant
in North Carolina.
And they have a son. What does Aiden mean, by the way?
So Aiden we were gonna make it an Irish name, but Aiden means
little fire.
It means little fire. It's based on the Irish had their own gods.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That, one that was like really fiery, the sun. And so he means little fire. And I wanted another A because I'm A. My name means full of grace. Me and my brothers are all religious names.
Right.
So A means little fire. And then Wilde off of Oscar Wilde, the Irish writer, who I'm also named after a writer, Anais Nin. So that's how we put his name together.
That is really cool. You guys have such an interesting story. So as we draw our time to close, is there anything that you would leave with other people? Something that God's saying to you right now, or maybe a Bible verse that's important to you, or just some kind of thought that is just really on your mind as you're thinking and meditating on things these days. And if you don't have one, it's okay.
I would say let go. And I will tell you just one little snippet that when I was pregnant with Aiden, I was in a really bad space and really in denial. And everyone was telling me it's going to be fine, you're going to be a great mother. And I really didn't want to be a mom. And I remember being alone in a room, and I hadn't heard from God in a very long time. And I said, how can I love someone I don't know? And he said, and God said to me, that's what faith is.
Wow. That's powerful.
It really was. I don't if I told you that, but
Wow.
I was like, I don't know this kid. How do you know? I don't know. So if you ever feel like you don't know, I don't know. That's what faith is, y'all. That's what faith is.
Wow. And so the fact that you were kind of a reluctant mother at that time is powerful. And I just read something this week that actually Sloan and Brittany are two of our staff members. They're mothers. They have children, multiple children. They said that the cells of a child stay in your body for up to 10 years after the child leaves. So there's something of a bond that stays with a mother. And that's fascinating to me. Anyway, Sean, how about you?
I'm not trying to piggyback off her with it, but
Live long and prosper.
Just don't lose faith.
Cool.
It can be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're not the only one in the fight.
Right.
And you've got someone strong in your corner.
Wow. I just feel like if this mic could drop it right now, I would just kind of go boom and let it go right there. I'm just so grateful for y'all for taking time to let us get to know you. And if you guys see Anais or Anna and Sean at church with Aiden, please say hello to them. This is really all about so you can get to know people and they can get a chance to know you, and we can all take steps on our journey with Christ together. So thank you so much for joining us for episode 26. The next one will be in episode 27, but thank you so much, Mullen.
Thank you.
Mullen, it's a singular, but I have to say Mullins since you're both here, right? Anyway, so thank you, Mullins, for being our guest.
Thank you, Pastor.